Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. How you all doing? Hope you're all well. You can see me nice and clear. It's nice to push your screen back. You can see a bit more of me. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. So guys, I'm just cleaning the screen here, make it nicer for me to look at. How are you all doing? It's Sunday evening. Not a lot going on now. The messy noise and kerfuffle and rubbish and everything else has died down. What we're going to talk about? Well, obviously the Carabao Cup third round has been drawn, even though they haven't played the second round yet. Second round's been drawn, and we know who our opponents might be, because it's another game to play before we get involved, because obviously we're in the third round because of our European excursions that we're going to have this season. So we play one fewer game. I think that's basically all the teams that are in Europe will play one fewer round of the Carabao Cup. So we join in the third round. I think all the other, as I said, all the other European teams join in the third round. And second round. So is that to talk about? I don't think there's any major news on City really that I could find that I could even put in a headline. I mean, it's that quiet. It's not really, I don't think, a lot to talk about other stuff. So, yeah, so the idea is to look at who do you guys want. And you ask me on a pretty regular basis who you want, or you suggest to me. You ask me, but you also suggest to me who you want. So we'll have a look at a few different positions. We'll have a look, obviously. Hi, Ikram, hope you're well. We'll have a look at that second centre-back, to partner Emerick Laporte. Look at your suggestions there. Obviously, we know Koulibaly is the one most of us are looking at. Well, let's look at some others. Left-back, I know some of you still want a left-back. Ashish Sabu, I know you want Martinez, buddy. So I'm just working through the team. So we need people want a centre-back, a right-sided centre-back. People want a left-back. Other people want a new defensive midfielder, a la Fernandinho. Others want an attacking midfielder, now that David Silva's gone. And others want a striker. Now, there's no way in the world we're going to buy 5 new players right now. There's no way. And some of you still want Messi. There's no way we're going to buy 5 new players, in my opinion. So we're going to look at all that. We'll look at some any women's news out there as well, as we hopefully wait for, and we ask the question, where is Lucy Bronze? Where is Alex Greenwood? They finished their careers at Lyon after winning the Champions League. Lyon won it, was it 5 times on the bounce? So they've won a humongous trophy in the Champions League. What's their next move? Now, it was said a few weeks ago that they'd be coming to City. Lucy Bronze used to be at City, and it said they're coming back. The interesting question to throw out there is I've not heard anything about the wage cap being lifted. So how is City going to afford these new players? Because one of the reasons I suspect we were losing players like Nikita Paris and Lucy Bronze, and there was someone else I forgot now. I'm trying to remember who it was. Can't remember. We were losing players to places like Lyon, places like America, because they were paying more. And obviously, Lyon had more chance of winning the Champions League. And the thing is, if you're losing your best players, how can you challenge for that Champions League? And we've been poor the last 2 seasons. If truth be told, knocked out by Atletico. I went to the game last season, and it was at home, and we were. If I remember correctly, we were pretty much outclassed. Hi, Blue Chan. Do you want Koulibaly, Husam Ouar, and Haaland? So. Yeah, so we'll continue with the women's team. So it is interesting. It is interesting to me. How are we getting World Cup winner Sam Mewis, World Cup winner Rose Lavelle? They were named in the top 3 players in the world. We got Chloe Kelly, another England star. She come from, was it Everton? She looks awesome. Awesome so far this season. She looks fantastic. And then how are we getting Lucy Bronze, who's still only 29, and Alex Greenwood, 2 England internationals? How are we affording all this and keeping our other players. So it can be really interesting. Sorry, guys, if I'm freezing a bit. I'm outside using the hotel's Wi-Fi. So it's really interesting how we're going to afford all these players. I've actually got someone to interview later on about on the women's game. Our interview hopefully will come out tomorrow. Ashish Sabu, was there any buyback clause in Jadon Sancho's deal? Why aren't City bringing him back? I can't see him playing in United. Thing is, Ashish, you can't buy him back so straightforwardly. I believe there's a sell-on clause. Fair enough. Even if there's a buyback clause, it doesn't mean you can physically buy him. I think what the buyback clause allows you to do is match another confirmed bid by somebody else. So if Man United bid £100 million, City could match that £100 million. And then it's up to Sancho to decide. So, all we can do is match a bid that's out there. And if Sancho doesn't want to come to us, he doesn't want to come to us. And City aren't going to do that. City are not going to buy Jadon Sancho. Okay? I put my neck on the block. City are not going to buy Jadon Sancho unless Dortmund say you can have them for 40 million quid. City are not going to go to 80, 90, 100 million pounds to buy Jadon Sancho after the way he left. I can't see Pep going for that at all. Blue Chan, we've got Ferran Torres. We don't need Sancho. Absolutely, Blue Chan. Give the kid Torres a chance. Torres. Give the kid a chance. He hasn't even played a game for us, and people are asking for to get Jadon Sancho back. I mean, I think that's disrespectful to the kid. He's only just joined. Give him a chance. I think I hope you're going to be really surprised, the ones who are asking for Sancho to come back. JRX, Alphonso Davies one day. Bayern Munich ain't selling. Bayern Munich ain't selling. There's no chance of that. The way that kid is playing, there's no chance they're going to sell him. Ikram, majority of our players played well on international. Bar Walker. Yeah, as I said yesterday, it could be Walker's international career is over once again. Look, I didn't see the 2 yellow cards. And as I said, I only watched the last 10 minutes or 12 minutes or so. And not even the full lot of that. I missed the Sterling penalty. But I've got to work. I've got to get these videos out for you guys. Gibbies, it seems very quiet on links at the moment, whether that is because City are doing their business quietly or not. But would love to see the Carlos Koulibaly, Martinez or Felix. I think that's a top window. If you watch the Diego Carlos interview I did with Mac that came out today, I think I've got to agree with him. He's of the opinion that he's not good enough for City. At 27 years old, he's only just moved to a big league. He's been playing in Portugal, 3 years in France, and only now he's moved to Sevilla. He's had 1 year at Sevilla. He's done well. He won the Europa League, gave away a couple of penalties, but these things can happen. But is he good enough? Mac doesn't think he is. He doesn't think his passing's good enough. He doesn't think he's fast enough. Other people are saying he's faster than what we've got already in Laporte and Fernandinho and maybe Ake. But I think Ake's going to be faster. Obviously, one benefit is he's a right-footed centre-back, which is what Pep's looking for. But I'm not convinced on Carlos. If it was me, my first choice would be Koulibaly. My second choice probably would be Upamecano. Third choice, starting to struggle a bit, after that. Ishak Taraftar, there's news of City Football Group inquiring into a Portuguese club. I've not looked at that, Ishak. I've been out today. My kids have this weekend where in France, it's called the Journée des Associations, because it's got an S there. Journée des Associations. Association. Anyway, I'm not French. I don't need to get it right. But it's there that you can go to look at various clubs and activities and sports stuff and music and whatever, culture, arts, and sign up or at least get the details. So we went to a couple of places today. So the town we're in, we Mrs. and the kids went yesterday. And then the town we went to a town next to ours, and then we looked at some others. So we've been looking at stuff for the kids to do, more music. My kids have got so much music on. My little one wants to learn the trombone. we'll see how serious he is. I don't think he's going to do the trombone because it's just too expensive. To be honest, what the town next to ours is charging for music, you think it's not really worth it. And then you have to do so. It's going to come to about £1,000 for an instrument. It's too much. That's not to buy the instrument. That's just for your blooming lessons, 1-to-1. And trombone, you might want to play Sunshine, but no, it's too expensive. Yeah, paying £1,000 and that's without equipment hire. So anyway, that was what I was up to. So I've not been on top of news. So I've not heard anything about the Portuguese club. I'd be surprised, yes and no. City are buying lower level European clubs. Look, we've got Lomelesque in Belgium. That was bought early this season or last season. It's hard to remember what's going on because of obviously the lockdown and the shutdown of games for 4 or 5 months. So we've got Lomelesque in second tier in Belgium. We've got Lestac Troy, not Nantes. I'm thinking of Diego Carlos now. We've got Lestac Troy, which we announced earlier this week, in second tier in France. We've got Girona in the second tier in Spain. Why can't we get someone in the second tier in Portugal? I think we're still going to look around, for other clubs in other leagues in Europe. Yes, we might have a problem one day if they get into the top tiers in the Champions League and something like that and have to play City. That's going to be an issue. But hopefully, the way our club is, we'll knock it to one side. I'm still expecting a club in Africa, possibly 2. Can you imagine getting a club somewhere like South Africa and another club somewhere like, I think, Algeria? I think there are problems actually in those countries with in places like Egypt at the moment, places like Tunisia, Morocco, I think, certainly in Algeria politically. But we could be looking at a couple of clubs in Africa, another club in Asia. Why not? We've got India and China and Japan. That's the Far East. Why can't we have something a bit? I'm not sure they're stable enough, to be honest. But we could be looking at somewhere else as well. We've got a club in Australia, so I don't think we'd go to New Zealand. We could get someone in Brazil or Argentina. I said with the Messi deal, buy Newell's Old Boys, and in 5 years' time, give a chunk of it to Messi. That would have worked. We could buy a club in Mexico. I think that's another hotbed of football. And it's where, look, it's money as well. Money is important. We'll come back to the transfers. I'll see what you guys are saying. So, Ikram, Bournemouth or Crystal Palace versus City. It's at home. Look, Ikram, you've got to look at it and say, if it's Bournemouth, I think we're pumping them. They'll be in the Championship by then. They'd have lost a few players. I think it's going to be hard for them. Palace, I think they're a bit more sturdy, a bit more dour. They've caused us trouble in the last few seasons, When we had that winning run, they brought it to an end with a draw down at Selhurst Park, and they could have won that with that late cheating penalty from the referee. They beat us at our place 3-2 with 2 wonder goals. Remember that Andros Townsend goal? Crazy guys. And I think they got a draw with us last season. So they are a bit of a problem for us simply because they play with that real pack in the bus mentality. So, look, it is what it is. Whoever's been in front of us for the last 3 years, Ikram, we've beaten. So, I'd like us to keep that Carabao Cup in the house. You'd have Koulibaly and Jimenez over Carlos. I totally agree with you, Ikram. Totally agree, 100%. There's probably 3 or 4 players that have ahead of Carlos, but his name has been mentioned, and the rumours are out there. It's one of these things, some rumours you just ignore, other rumours you have a look into, but I hope there's nothing in it, to be honest. Blue Chan, no one has mentioned about getting a new right back, like you said in the previous video. Kyle Walker has too many brain farts. Absolutely. Look, FA Cup semi-final, Kyle Walker, brain fart. Mendy, brain fart. Mendy should not let that cross get in so easily, and Walker should have known where Aubameyang was. Against Lyon, quarter-final, Walker, brain fart. Looking at the player, Cornet, and not knowing that he was playing everybody else on side and then not running back. I'm sorry, that's too big a mistake. Sent off for England. Sometimes in the big games when it matters, Walker is found wanting. It's disappointing because overall I think he had a pretty good season. So it's difficult. I'm not saying replace him as Blue Chandy said, and Ikram says he doesn't need to replace him. But how do you switch him on? That's the problem. He does this 3 or 4 games a season. How do you switch him on and make sure he doesn't do it? I don't know. I really don't know. But hey, look, I'm not going to say I nearly spilled the beans. Mac, who I interviewed for the channel, the guy based in Hong Kong, as I said, he's a football analyst. He writes articles for Total Analysis website. He's done stuff for Barca Times. The reason I talked to Mac, someone sent me something he'd written about a right back. And I thought, wow. I really did think, wow. And I thought, I've got to talk to this guy. And I've done an interview with him about a right back for City. I'm not going to say any more than that. You guys will guess who it is anyway. You're rotten to me like that. I'm trying to keep some suspense. I'm trying to make it a bit of a surprise. But you guys are always on top of it. But we did an interview about a right back for City. Very, very, very exciting. But I'm not going to tell you. I know you guys are going to start guessing, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. That video I could put it out tonight because it is ready to go. I've done all the editing. I'm tempted to put it out tomorrow because too much of a good thing, guys. You'll have had 2 videos today, and hopefully you'll have 3 videos tomorrow because I've got that interview that I'm doing tonight in a little while, in less than an hour. I've got another interview, so it's going to be really busy. Gibbies, we have covered it right back with Cancelo, who's looking better and better. I agree with that, Gibbies. I think, you could argue for the next, some people may not agree, for the next couple of seasons, we've got Walker, Cancelo, Mendy, even Zinchenko. Some people say Walker's not good enough. Some people say the left back spot is not good enough. I say if we're better around the pitch, then we'll more than get by. We've got by in the past using Delph and Zinchenko at left back. And we won the domestic treble, and we were Centurions with, Centurions. Remember this, Centurions with Otamendi, who people are really making scathing comments about Otamendi. He was 35 out of 38 Premier League appearances he had that season in Centurions, and we played mainly with Delph and Zinchenko at left back. People can say what they like, but that's who we played with. And Laporte only played 9 league games in the Centurion season. So, we were playing with people like Stones and Otamendi, a big chunk of games. And people are slagging them off now. Do you go get rubbish overnight? I don't think so. So there's other things. I think there's other areas we need to work on. If we get a better defensive midfield setup, if either Rodri steps up or we get someone like Ismail Benasser, or we might even put Fernandinho back in there, maybe that will take some pressure off other players. Maybe with someone like Ferran Torres playing instead of Mahrez, maybe Ferran Torres, he's only 20 years old, maybe he puts that extra effort in. Can you imagine a front three? Just going to throw it out there. Or 4. You got Gabby Jesus running around. You got Ferran Torres running around. You got Raheem Sterling running around. Can you imagine those 3? How much effort they're going to put in? How much chasing they're going to put in? That would be, in terms of if you're playing with a false 9, for instance, and playing with those 3, there's going to be a lot of chasing, a lot of pressing. That's what I like to see. And let's say we do get used to Mawar. Let's say we do, or Benasser, and we have KDB. So those are our 5 forwards. There's going to be a lot of harrying and pressing for that ball, which is more than what we've got right now. Let's have a look what Blue Chand is saying. Oops, I missed some comments there. Hi, Clement Sajere. Walker makes too many mistakes. It's true. Hi, Darcy. Depends how you look at it. But his mistakes are, besides being lamentable, they've cost us goals. But then so has Laporte. Laporte has made, so I don't want to just jump on Walker. But if you look at Laporte, Champions League, the game against Norwich, he made a big mistake there. We were lucky. Timo Pukki, his confidence was low. He should have really scored when Laporte basically give the ball away at the halfway line. And against Lyon, you can argue he made a mistake. Against Tottenham last season, he made some mistakes. So in the Champions League, so no one's immune from making mistakes, and so maybe we are sometimes harsh on Walker and giving Laporte, we're cutting him too much slack. If you relatively speaking, compared to Walter. Blue Chan, when was last time Walker made an error that led to a goal? Lyon. How about that? Lyon. And I do believe that was the last game we played, Ikram, because Walker played the guys onside. He wasn't even looking at what was going on. He was looking at Cornet, and then he didn't chase back. So the man he was looking at, the man he was trying to match if he made a burst out wide, was the guy who scored the goal, because Walker didn't run back. So there you go. And if you want to go back again, the game against Arsenal in the semi-final of the FA Cup, that was not too far beyond that. That was another 3 games back, because we played after the Arsenal game. I think we played Bournemouth and Norwich, and that's it. So in his last 4 games, one semi-final, 1 quarter-final, he's made mistakes. There's no question he made a mistake in letting Arsenal score that first goal. Absolutely no question. Mendy did too. So I'm sorry, Ikram. I've got to say there are 2 games. And then his next game, he gets sent off for England. So, the thing is, JRX, Walker has the pace, but look where he used the pace against Cornet, who was marking. Okay, he didn't chase him back, so he might have the pace, but what's the point? Here, it might as well have been me on the pitch against Lyon when Cornet ran off and scored. It might as well have been me, because Walker was just jogging. The difference between me and Walker is I'd have legged it, I'd have put everything back. I still wouldn't have made it, but I'd have put everything in to get back. Walker was just walking, then jogging, and it was too late. Cornet, the man he was looking at, the man he was meant to mark if you made that burst, was the guy who scored the goal. So, sorry, it doesn't matter how fast you are. If you've not got it here, you got a problem. He might have been Ikram, and you might be right. I think some of our best players last season, I would say with KDB, Sterling, you got to say Sterling, even though he had a massive dip in form, but you got to say Sterling for the numbers he threw out. Riyad Mahrez, those 3. Walker probably gets into the top. He could easily get into the top 5. But here's the but. Big games. Quarter-final of the Champions League. Semi-final of the FA Cup, playing for England. Big games. Balls up in each one. Haj, Cancelo really has impressed going forward. City need 2 signings at least by the end of the window. Yeah, look, I've no doubt about that. As soon as he played his first game going forward against Watford, he looked really good. He offers us something different going forwards. We saw playing on the right. He cut across for it was that game I was watching last night, and he scored a goal. So he's got a little bit about him, hasn't he? He can shoot and he can score. Okay, you could argue he's on the right cutting in onto cutting inside rather than on the left cutting inside. A little bit of work on his final pass. A little bit of work on his shooting. We've got the potentials. We've got the makings of a really, really good attacking left fullback. And I'm excited about next season. Hi, Chris. Hope you're well. Odriozola. I'd never heard of him. That's the truth, Ikram. Hi, GSJ. What happened to your subs, mate? Subs are all right, man. Subs are all right. In the last month, we've got over 500. Last 28 days. Over 500 new subscribers in 28 days. Got to say, guys, that is pretty good going. 500, over 500 in 28 days. Okay, we got a lot. Let's be honest, we got a lot from the Messi stuff that we were putting out. Got a lot of positive, very positive feedback on the stuff we were doing with Messi. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, have a quick look at the subs, what we've had recently. So yeah, the stuff we did with Messi, we're up to over 2,600. Just gone over 2,600. So it's been really, really good, guys. The numbers have dropped on the videos again, but that's going to happen when everybody was talking about Messi, when that was, for a week and a half, that was the story. Then obviously that's we've got a lot more people. I'm just looking in the last 3 months, over 1,000 subscribers in the last 3 months. We've had some fantastic days in the last 3 months where we've got, I think, an absolute shed load of people. I mean, look, there's a day last week, got 75 new subscribers. The day before, 51. The day before, 54. A few days before that, 57. Another day last week, 62. So, that's some really good days. And when the football restarted, it's a shame we don't get this all the time. And back in June, got 71 on the 19th of June. A week later, 52. So we're getting some decent numbers. And into July, we got some good numbers. When the FFP cast case came out, got some good numbers there. So we've had some good numbers in the last 3 months. And obviously got to thank the guys who have stayed with me, and obviously all the new guys who have come as well. We've done remarkably well. I mean, I'm just going to look at the last 7 days to give you an idea. So, yeah, we're averaging 45 a day over the last 7 days. Pretty good. I wish I could do that for the rest of the year. If you can get 45 a day, you're getting about 300 a week. You know, that's going to be something like 15,000 subscribers in a year, it's not going to happen, guys. Let's be honest. I think what's more realistic is what's happened over the last 90 days, where I'm averaging, about 12 to 15 a day, which still is pretty good numbers. It means in a year you'll get something like maybe between 3,000 and 4,000 new subscribers, which I think for this channel is not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm more than happy with that. Yes, I'd love to get more. I'd love to be up to, target of mine is to get to 10,000 subscribers. But hey, Rome wasn't built in a day. You do every few hundred at a time. My next target is 3,000, then 4,000, then 5,000, and so on. When do you think our next signing will come? Says Darcy. Honestly, don't know, Darcy. And there you go. We don't know. It was all fast. We got some signings in early, and I think the Koulibaly is the one that's dragging on. That's the one that's annoying people. It's dragging on, and we do need somebody else. We can't have just Koulibaly. For me, we need somebody else, another first-team starter, whether that's Ismail Benassa, whether that's Lautaro Martinez, whether that is Houssem Aouar, whether that is David Alaba. We do need, I think, somebody else. Ryan, do you actually think you're a big club? Depends what you call a big club, Ryan. Ikram, when do we play Wolves? We're playing Wolves on the 19th of September. They'd have played 5 days previously. It'll be their second game. So you could argue they're a bit more into it than us. Slightly more match fit, but we'll wait and see. Ikram, those mistakes from Walker, he wasn't at fault for the goal. Sorry? It's a collection of errors. But, come on. The two guys Walker was marking, Ikram, they're the guys who scored. So Ikram was, Walker was marking Aubameyang. Aubameyang scored because Walker didn't watch him. Walker was watching Cornet, and Cornet scored because Walker didn't chase his man. So, yes, there's a collection of errors, but Walker, it's that Leon goal started with Walker playing them onside. Okay, I'm not going to blame the other players. Walker played them onside at the halfway line, and Garcia came back and made the tackle. Walker wasn't there. He was dawdling. He didn't chase back. So Walker made 2 mistakes. Who else you want to blame for the first Leon goal? Against Arsenal, Mendy should have stopped the cross, or at least made it harder to come in. But Walker should have been marking his man. I'm sorry. You can't. It was a great move from Aubameyang. The only person Walker needed to watch was Aubameyang. He didn't know where he was. Walker had no idea. You can say it's great movement. It's a combination, Ikram. Great movement from Aubameyang. Walker had no idea that he was there. Walker was shocked to find out Aubameyang there. He had to open up his body a little bit to know what was going on, and he didn't do that. Walker does that. He did it for England. When the ball's coming in, he's too close. He's not opened his body up enough. For a top player, that's a big mistake to keep on making. 19th, which is next Saturday. It's not next Saturday. It's not. We're on the 6th today, guys. Next Saturday is the 13th, so it's 5 days after that. If I get that right. Wolves on the 21st, sorry. So the 21st is still 15 days away. 2 days. Yeah, it's on a Monday. That's right, Blue Chan. It's on the 21st, which is the Monday. This needs to improve. Russ, I totally agree. I feel like the rare shots people get good and see him scoring. Hopefully, Zach Steffen was. Yeah, look, Zach Steffen, it's not Steven, it's Steffen. Sorry, guys. I'm sometimes pedantic. But I think he's there to put him under pressure. Edison's made too many mistakes as well. He made a mistake against Lyon. Okay, you say one mistake, let it go. He made a mistake against United when he should have stopped it. He's made 3 or 4 mistakes this season, and it's poor. He will get competition blue chant. I'm sure that Zach Steffen will put him under pressure. We need to prepare. Absolutely. Season is Mendy and Zinchenko's last chance. Ikram, I agree. Ikram, do you think we will win? Wolves, we should hope. Right, it's going to be a tough game away from home. I would give Mendy last chance if he doesn't play well. Sell him to GSJ. Problem is, GSJ, I think apparently City would have sold him last season if someone had come in with the money and someone was in a transfer fee and someone would have paid him the wages he wants. The fact that he was injured coming into the season, no one would take that risk. Will Pep let Zach take the cups? Yeah, no question about that, JRX. Shazib, I can't predict the Wolves game now. It's too early. Ryan, I mean, until Mansour came along, you were nothing. No, actually, Ryan, what you're doing there, Ryan, is there's no due respect. You're not doing that. You're not giving us any respect, Ryan. Before Sheikh Mansour came along, Manchester City was still. I remember looking at the numbers, the Deloitte numbers a few years before that. Man City was 17th or 18th in terms of income not in England, in Europe. Manchester City was 17th or 18th in the terms of income in Europe. We were quite high up there in terms of trophies won. People seem to want to easily forget that we had won a couple of league titles. All right. It was a long time ago. Back in 1968, we won a league title. Back in 1937, we won a league title. People want to forget that we'd won the FA Cup. Won the FA Cup back in 1903 or 4, if I remember correctly. We'd won it in the 50s against Newcastle, 1956, I think. Can't remember years. Did we lose in 55 and won in 56? Bert Trautmann, where he broke his neck in the final. We won it in 1969, the FA Cup. We won the League Cup in 1970, the League Cup in 1976. We won the European Cup Winners' Cup in 1970. People want to forget that. We lost the League Cup in 1974. We lost the FA Cup in 1981. Ryan, we were... It's not too shabby, City's record. The biggest league crowd outside of Wembley, I do believe. So City, whether you call it big or not, JSJ, I think you've hit the nail on the head. How long will Ryan last? To be honest, the team looked dazed for the first hour at Leon, not just Walker. Yes, JRX, but Walker made the mistakes. The question Ikram did ask was, when was the last time Walker made a mistake that led to a goal? There you are. I've told you. Just because the club isn't huge before does not mean it can't be now. What kind of logic is that? Yeah, look. Let's go back. 1900. Where were Liverpool in 1900? They weren't a big club. How about Ruben Neves? I don't think we'll go for him. Ashish, Ikram, Ryan Evans City already secured top half of the table finishes from 2008. So for you to say City nothing is delusional, because that would mean that seems like Everton, Southampton are nothing. I think Ryan, well, we'll find out where he is if he says out Ikram and GSGA. JRX, we need to refer Ryan to Bernardo's tweet. Read about get a partner and so many options. Absolutely, JRX. But the thing is, that people say that the type of stuff about City, it's just from the people that have only watched football for a few years. People from the older generation want to say, look, here you go. Okay, when Barclays did a survey of fans, City were found to have the oldest, I think they were season card holders, the oldest fan base. Yeah, City had the oldest fan base, so their fans basically been supporting City for the longest. They've been supporting their club for the longest. That doesn't come out by accident. Yeah, and as I said, the fact is, you go through City's old records, and yes, some of them are going back a bit, but as I said, I think the highest FA Cup gate outside of Wembley, and obviously when they went to the Millennium Stadium, I think that's still at City. Highest league gate still at City, or the Old Main Road. We've done all right. 2 league titles, that's all right. It's a bit of history. 1894 and all that, and we were formed a bit before that as well. So there's plenty of history. Winning stuff and it doesn't make history. Big club. What defines a big club? Excuse me. If you go back to the 50s, were Liverpool a big club? Come on, who's going to tell me Liverpool were a big club in the 50s? Anybody? Were Man United a big club in the 50s? They'd had some success. Were they a big club? Everton were a big club. Preston were a big club in the 1800s. Sunderland were a big club. What defines big club? Absolutely, GSJ, Walker and Rodri do need to improve. What do you think? Yeah, I do. Look, Sergio Aguero's 32. Okay, he scored a lot of goals, 16 in 24 league games, but he only played 24 league games and obviously missed the end of the Champions League. Injury is an issue. Not being as fast as an issue. Maybe, not making as many right decisions is an issue. All these things mount up. So, that's against him. And Gabriel Jesus, for me, and I think a lot of other people have agreed, Gabriel Jesus is not the same kind of striker as Aguero. He has a different skill set. He gets offside a lot, and he doesn't score enough. So for me, I want a new striker. I want someone young, someone who's happy to play second fiddle to Aguero, someone who's happy in a year or two to take over from Aguero. You saw the video I did with Maxi Angelo, the Italian journalist, the Italian sports journalist. If you saw that video I did with him, and we both came down on the side of Lautaro Martinez as our first choice, 23 years old, similar build, you could argue, to Aguero, same sort of height. He's only been scoring one goal in every three in his career, his top level career. If you look at the last season, it's a little bit better than one every 2.5. But if he's at City, he's playing in a team that's going to give him a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities, and he works a lot harder than I think Aguero can do now because of his age. He's 23 and he's got that motivation, he's got that mentality, he's got that right attitude, and I think he wants to listen. He'll learn a lot from Pep for however long Pep's here. So Lautaro Martinez, get him in, get him playing some games. Yes, he might only play 15 league games this season, 20 league games, and then get ready to explore the season after. Get him in. What I don't want to do is, Aguero leaves one summer, he decides to go, or he gets injured. We need a new striker, and we haven't got anybody. We have to get somebody who doesn't hit the ground running, takes a season to sort themselves out. For all we know, I don't think we will, but get another Wilfred Boney, and we have a season on the sidelines. I don't want that to happen. I want to get somebody in, and I want somebody to get their feet under the table and get used to playing at City. Blue Chan, Liverpool built. Yeah, Liverpool was formed simply to make money. That's it. No other reason. In the old days, when clubs were formed, a lot of them were formed as part of churches. They were formed to give the young men some exercise, or to keep young men out of trouble. Liverpool weren't formed for those reasons. They were formed because the owner wanted. He tried to put the strong arm tactics on Everton, who were playing at Anfield at the time, and asked them for a lot more money for the rent of the ground. And they said no. They moved across Stanley Park to Goodison Park. And so the fella, I forgot his name now, he set up Liverpool simply because he had a ground and no team. So he wanted to get people coming through the gate. He wanted to get the money. So he set up Liverpool. He threw a lot of money at it. One of the first money bags clubs was Liverpool. Set up simply to make money, and he threw a shed load of money at Liverpool, and they won the league within a few years. So don't come and tell us, Liverpool weren't a big club. They've become a big club. There's no denying that. And City are becoming a big club, whether you like it or not. I tell you what, City could win the Champions League for 10 years on the bounce, the Premier League for 10 years on the bounce, the FA Cup for 10 years on the bounce, the Carabao Cup for 10 years on the bounce, the FA Community Shield, 10 years on the bounce. We could win the World Club Championship 10 years on the bounce. We could win the Super Cup 10 years on the bounce. We could win everything 10 years on the bounce. We could have 70,000 every week, and people would still say we're a small club. Ryan, I'll say this politely, SDS. Ryan comes here with his SDS problem, and he's gone. And if you guys don't know what SDS is, go and check it out, because that's what that fella's got. Jesus is a great player, but I can't really ever see him becoming truly elite at City. I think Martinez will be a perfect replacement for Sergio. Absolutely, Darcy, I agree. Ryan Evans came back at Ikram, and he's gone. He's gone for good. But thanks for the extra view, Ryan. You're a star. Guys, if you're new to the channel, I'm about to go in about 5 minutes. We've done 40 minutes. Please subscribe to the channel. Help us to inch our way to that target of 3,000. Well, I don't want to inch our way. I want to get there quickly. I want to get to 3,000 subscribers and then push on again. If you can subscribe, it'd be fantastic. Everything's free on this channel. So if you can subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. I don't think it's a bad video. I hope you agree. We need another Tevez blue chant. Yeah, Tevez was awesome when he played. He ran and ran and ran. I would have taken Haaland all day long, but he's got to want to come, and I think he wants to. He knew if he'd come to City and gone to a lot of other clubs, he wouldn't have started. Dortmund wanted him to start, and that really made his mind up to go to Dortmund. I think helped, obviously by Mino Raiola, but I think Mino Raiola is a problem to stop coming here. John Rollins, Upamecano, stop messing with Napoli. Can't be trusted. Absolutely, I agree. Napoli cannot be trusted. Now I've said I want Napoli to think we're getting him, Napoli to buy their players, and then us to say do one Napoli and buy Upamecano or somebody else, and let Napoli stew, and fight FFP when they have to do a fire sale to get rid of players. GRX need a striker to deal with the high crosses being pumped into no one. Absolutely, GRX. We talked about the striker video. I mean, sadly, it didn't get a lot of views, a few hundred views, but 5 strikers. There were Martinez, there was Dybala, there was Milik, Polish guy, tall. He looks a pretty good deal. There was Ousmane Dembele, another one that looks a decent option, and the 5th one, Zapata, another tall guy, decent in the air, good pace, a little bit older, but hey, he knows where the goal is. City taking too long getting players. I agree, John. Well, look at United. United are taking a bit of time themselves, but we don't want to be compared with United. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea got 5 players or 6 players through the door already, and they're looking for more. So it's disappointing that we got 2 in early and we've got no one since. STS, Darcy, absolutely, buddy. Ray, would you sell Mendy, give him a chance? GSGA, I want to give him another chance because it's a bit messy, but I'm not so sure. If Cancelo's our man, then and Zinchenko's the backup, what do we need Mendy for? Problem is, who's going to pay 30, 40, 50 million for Mendy, and who's going to pay his wages? So why would he leave? We can't force him out. Ikram, centre-back and left-back. I want 2 more players, and I don't care where they are. Obviously, I want the centre-back. I don't care if we don't get a left-back or a midfielder, if we get a striker. If we, at the 5 positions that I've talked about, centre-back, right centre-back, left-back, DM, in a Fernandinho mould, attacking midfielder, or a striker, any of them, I'd be happy. 2 of them, 2 out of 5. But, guys, I want someone who can start games. I don't want somebody who's going to be on the bench. I don't want more strength in depth. I want our strength in depth to be, for example, Ismail Benassa comes in and pushes Rodri onto the bench. That's what I want our strength in depth to be. I want Husam Aouar to come in and push Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan onto the bench because he's that good. He's going to start. Even Phil Foden. I think Foden will come through. He'll get his games. Don't worry, guys. But that's what I want. I want guys who are going to come in and make that first team spot their very own. Guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. If you haven't seen the videos I put out recently, please, if you can, go and have a check. Check them out. Just trying to get the views up a bit, trying to get the subscriptions up. And the thing is, it's one of these things. The more views we get, the more upticks we get, the more likes we get, then the more recommendations we get from YouTube. I believe that's how the algorithm works, I think. And then the more chance people do find out about the videos we put out, and then we can increase our subscriber base. The more subscribers we have, the more content I can produce for you guys. And obviously, I think 10,000 is a goal of mine. That opens up new opportunities on YouTube as well. So, guys, who's going out the starting 11 for me? I wouldn't cry if Mahrez was knocked out the starting 11. I wouldn't cry if Rodri was knocked out the starting 11. I wouldn't cry if we got somebody else better than them. Not just push them over. It has to be someone better. Men are doing mad stunts on jet skis last week. Look, it's not good, is it? It's not good. Guys, I'm going to shoot. You look after yourselves. I've got another interview in just under half an hour. I've got to do some preparation, guys. Got to try and pretend I'm a little bit professional. So I'm going to go out and do a little bit of preparation for my next interview. Guys, take care. See you around and look after yourselves. See you around, Blues.